Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, we're ringside to a fight between two honey mustard heavyweights, BL and Koops Honey Mustard. Welcome to the show. This is Soft Spoken.
And we're back. We are Soft Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hi, my name's Tori, and I am so glad to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And of course, and to my right, you know him internationally, probably more so now than the show. You probably heard the story. This guy is Nicki Minaj's cousin's brother's barber, and also a co-host, believe it or not. E. Welcome, E, to the show. It's so good to have you.
Nicki Minaj.
There you go.
A barber of one.
A barber of one.
I cut my own hair. That's about it. No one else trusts me. If you've seen my hair, you know why.
Self-burn.
The hairline is just running away.
That's right.
Yikes. Well, now it's time for our most longest lasting recurring segment of the show. It's time to catch up with the boys.
Oh, yay.
Time to catch up.
Eric, how was your week this week?
I get the honor of starting off. All right. I've been super, super busy, which is, a blessing and a curse. It's been good, though, for the most part. Let's see here. So it all started last Friday. Got super busy at work, and we got this big project come in. And Amy's behind me going, I'm so excited for axe throwing. Aren't you excited for axe throwing? Because we're going to go axe throwing in a couple of weeks for
her birthday.
For her birthday, right?
Yeah.
Probably around the time this episode releases, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And
Forward
AK,
in time.
And AK texts me.
Big A.
And says, are we doing anything tonight? And my brain immediately went, Friday night? Yeah, let's get together. Saturday night, we'll go axe throwing. So.
Okay.
Hung out, had a great evening on Friday.
Never brought it up, by the way. Not once asked.
Oh, my God.
Adam asks me on Friday night, Adam, if you want to go biking. And in my mind, I'm thinking biking in the morning, axe throwing in the evening. I don't think I have time for that. I need to do stuff in the morning. And so, yeah, I got up Saturday morning. I'm hitting the chores hard. I'm getting everything done. I make sure to get dressed to get down to the axe throwing place at 4 p.m. I walk in there, and then it dawns on me. I think I'm 2 weeks early.
What are you honestly on, Eric? Jesus Christ. So wait, you went to Tori's house or you went to the axe throwing place?
Well, I went down to Millville and went to the axe throwing place.
Have we ever organized something without 100,000 texts clarifying the exact scenario that's going to happen?
Apparently, we need a million.
Carpool,
texts.
or are you going to do this? When are we going? Are we doing this? What are we going for dinner at? And you just
showed up. On time.
What makes me the maddest about that situation is how many times I have prompted you and strangled you and tried to get you to do things at a certain time, and you fight me so hard. And this one thing, you're like, oh yeah, sure, I heard about this one time maybe thing. I'll just show up. No effort went into it.
So there I am watching, my old wrestling like I always do on Saturday, like SummerSlam 1988 or something. And there's my man E. Drops in.
Thought since I was close by, might as well say hi. Yeah. I was north of the city after all, so it's a big deal here in Pittsburgh.
Is that why you texted me and asked if I've already gone on bike ride?
That is exactly why. That's why Tori laughed.
I didn't want to spill the beans.
Well, by that point, you wouldn't have had your bike with you, so you would have had to go back to your house, get your bike, and then come back up again.
Yeah, I would.
Oh my God, Eric. It was a nice bike ride I went on, too. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we had a really nice visit. You stopped by, hung out.
Unannounced. Oh, maybe I can creep in and see Amy naked again. We haven't told the listeners about that yet.
She might be a guest again.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
She won't listen to this, so she won't know.
No, she won't.
Eric did break into your house one time, Tori, early for a game night and peeped your wife.
Did not.
Ooh, it was an accident. She was running a hairdryer in the bathroom, and you said, oh, she must be running the vacuum.
It sounded like a vacuum cleaner, and it was not in the bathroom. She was not in her bathroom.
I'll just barge into the bedroom and see.
I barged into the dining room and looked right through the whole house because it's a nice open plan, or somehow I managed to just catch perfectly.
Simultaneously, you were early and late to game night because you came early, and then you came early, and then you had to go home and change your pants, so then you were late.
Wow.
Tori, what about you
Bad
this week?
taste.
How was your
Bad
week this
taste
week?
is right.
Oh, man. I really don't have too much here for you,
Do you want me
dude.
to follow that up?
Yeah. Boy, I am struggling. The Toyota Truckman mystery continues.
Okay.
Yeah, the aforementioned, still a mystery. He was there again. I wish him well. I mean, that's, yeah. So,
Maybe he works there.
Maybe it's Ryan. Did you ever think of that?
No.
Oh, that's right, because he had his truck out front.
Yeah.
Silverado.
Yeah.
License plate number F7Y. No. Not.
But yeah, I don't really have too much here for you. I wish I did. I wish I had something exciting or otherwise. I'm on a new video game.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited
we
about
used to
that.
talk about video games.
Yeah.
What video game is this? You want to give it a shout out?
I may have mentioned the prequel in an earlier Wasteland 3.
Oh,
As opposed, I played the living hell out of Wasteland 2. Now I'm on Wasteland 3. It's terrific.
nice.
Yeah. Have you ever played XCOM? XCOM? Anyone?
I have
Anyone?
not. No. I'm familiar generally with the concept. but no, I
Okay.
haven't
It's a real hardcore, like turn-based type thing. If you take that genre, or that franchise really, and throw in a little bit of Fallout, boom. That's what you have.
Neat.
It's very good. Like it a lot. It was on sale to boot, $20.
I mean, they took, I think, Wasteland and made it a board game, didn't they? So
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That would be one hell of a board game, boy. There is a lot going on. Whew.
Sounds like a kind of board game Eric would love and be
Yeah.
on Kickstarter.
I mean, that's the perfect game to have digitized and have a computer keep track of whether or not you're poisoned and blah, blah, blah. You know, it is a hardcore RPG in that sense.
see, I think somehow they'd managed to take it and, or no, I don't know, I might be thinking of a different game, like Fallout Shelter or something, or I don't know, something about like nuclear bombs and like you're like trying to like set up a town underground.
Oh, yeah. The mobile game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same name?
It's the same universe franchise.
Universe,
yeah.
but it's the mobile one, and the mobile one was got then turned into a
That's an
board game
entirely
because
different.
it's
Okay.
Right.
Because it's a little more easier to make that translation, I guess, or to real life IRL as they say.
IRL.
You're on a totally different plane sometimes. Sometimes I just look at you and I just wonder what's going on in there. You ever see like a gyroscope spinning? That's what I just imagine is going on in your head. Like it's just things, wheels
It'd
are
be broke.
gears are
All kinds of
flying around
gears are
and
cracking and
wheels
things
are
are
spinning
jamming
and
up.
lots of things are going on, but there's like nothing going anywhere. You know.
Not to pick on ye, but I mean,
Please do.
console gamers and PC gamers like Adam and myself, respectively, or not respectively, I don't know, but whatever.
I think you're right.
Mobile gamers, that's
Bottom tier.
yeah, right.
Trash
dog.
tier.
That's bottom tier shit.
Bottom tier shit.
Where's board gamers?
Separate plane.
Yeah, that's a whole-
separate plane of existence.
Yeah, on the same plane you're on right
Which
now.
I think is interesting because I think we've talked about this before, and I'm hoping to get some of these people, at least one of these people, if not several of these people, on the show with us. But Eric has a separate board game group that he's mentioned, and I think it's funny because we make fun of Eric for coming up with these convoluted games that have these long rules, and he has to sit there and read the rules for like a half hour. Well, I experienced a game night with this other crew, and first of all, we've talked about this before, how Eric shows up to our board game nights, and he's like, oh, hey guys, I whipped up a salad to bring, with the ingredients I had left over in my fridge, and I brought 3 beers, in this cooler. And I think it's funny because we have our own, like, dynamic in our group, but then when Eric goes over to his other game night group, he's like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Chad Dad Eric. I brought
Chad
an
Dad.
entire case of Mike's Hard Lemonade. I brought 3 orders of wings and a pizza.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm 5 years older than you guys.
You're the rich old man.
He's
a rich old
he
man.
balls out on these guys. And I think it's funny there, too, because when you go there, I just have a picture in my mind because the one game we played when we were there with these guys the other day, there were these 2 guys sitting on one side of the table, and for whatever reason, the game either accidentally or intentionally came with 2 separate rule books. So there were 2 guys simultaneously reading rule books in the like half hour it took the game to get the game set up. And Eric was just sitting back there relaxing, chilling, drinking Mike's Hard. And I was thinking like, man, this is so weird, this dynamic shifted
Probably like a babe on each arm.
180. Well,
It was
Smoke-
relaxing.
a
It's
smoking
much more
jacket.
relaxing to let them just, here, you guys take over to being the ones worrying about getting everything going.
I
I,
just
can
thought it
just
was-
patiently
it was
sit
so
back.
funny because it was normally like Eric was normally like you, the way that you act around board games, Tori. At theirs,
That's
know.
a good approach, dude.
It is. It is. It was
You
nice.
know, I just thought that was such a funny dynamic change. You know?
I'm just happy to be here. I mean, that's my philosophy.
So actually, I had game night again this week on Monday night.
What'd you bring him a case of?
And his mom made chili, so I just brought crackers and cheese. And, I told him just keep it simple. I was like, this is a one pot kind of meal. And I thought it was delicious. Veronica was dying. She thought it was way too spicy. She couldn't eat any of her stuff. Kept picking through it, throwing out anything that looked like a pepper.
Really?
She don't like peppers?
She was just, it was just spicy. It was very hot.
Oh, gotcha.
I do think that's
good.
You have to tread the line with chili. Like, I like a spicy chili. When I make it for a group, I usually tone it down a little bit. And then I figure you can always kick the spice up with whatever hot sauces you want,
Right, or some fresh chilies.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'll bring like some chopped jalapenos or something like that, you know.
A little aftermarket
to kick it up.
Jazz. Yeah, I hear you.
I had a little bit of an interesting thought, and this isn't quite a soft-spoken rewind.
Look at you with notes.
I know. I always have notes on my phone. I don't always reference them quite like this.
Oh.
I don't always hold them in front of me. Sometimes I just glance at them and put them down. I was having a little bit of an interesting thought about this last week, and you know how we were talking about gluten-free labels on things that don't necessarily need to contain gluten?
Yes.
But it was also, I know we were talking about that with Ryan in regards to the soy sauce that we were talking about, whether that's even something that normally has gluten or not. But I thought it was kind of interesting because if you think about it, they advertise the gluten-free for people who have celiac disease, but they don't do that for other disease triggers. Like no one was ever like, hey, this sour cream won't give you AIDS. There was nothing like that. No one's putting warnings on yogurt saying, like, does not trigger diverticulitis. You know what I mean? Like, none of those things are, even though those, the AIDS was a joke.
Yeah.
No one liked. But the diverticulitis thing, that's legitimately like a food-triggered thing. No one ever's like, avoid this grainy bread, I thought that was interesting.
There's peanut butter warnings, peanut warnings on stuff.
That's true. There's peanut warnings, and there's a couple other things, but it's like, why did we pick gluten of all things? And it's not like celiac is super common.
Yeah. You don't think there's a trend factor involved there?
There is, but I'm just wondering why that became the thing,
I also think it's interesting that, like peanut butter is a great example. Any factory line that even has remotely peanuts in the building, they're like, oh, well, this food is not safe, even if it doesn't have peanuts in it. So maybe they're also saying, okay, well, this food doesn't have gluten because it's not around any gluten products. But like you said, like soy sauce, come on. It doesn't have gluten.
No
gluten. It should never have gluten.
No.
And I can't imagine it being processed somewhere that would have gluten. So
yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Who the heck knows, though, I guess.
That's true.
If it's the trend, dude, it's there.
That's true.
Is our honey mustard's gluten free? Or am I jumping the gun?
That's a very good question. I was trying to think of what a good segue was. I have nothing for a segue, but other than
there you go.
Other than the fact of we will be talking about a couple of honey mustards today, and I'll give one to you, Tori, and one to you, Eric, and you can read the names off there.
All right.
One of these is familiar to us in a way, and one of them is not. Eric, do you want to lead us off with the familiar one first?
Sure. I have BL honey mustard.
Also, previously of the sour cream French onion dip sauce dip claim
Dynasty,
fame.
yeah.
Yes. Tori, what about you? I
have Koops. And the apostrophe is in an odd place. It's Koops apostrophe. So
Okay.
It's not belonging to Koops.
I think it is.
It is.
But it's meaning
There's many Koops.
His name ends. No. His name ends. His name is Koops. The name of the person is Koops with the S.
Yeah.
And then the apostrophe on the end signifies possession.
Koopses.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Except for.
But it's not.
Right, except for you don't need that second S. But yes. You don't see that very often, but that is the grammatically correct way to do that.
Wow, we going into bottle design as well? Are we just steamrolling right ahead?
Yeah, let's fire right into the outside of the container that we're looking at.
Everything
Eric.
Tori says is... Oh, darn. I was going to say, everything Tori says is the same as mine.
I'll put you in.
Just about.
Well, yeah, pretty close. They are...
These bottles are very similar.
What you're alluding to, yeah, the bottles are very similar in design, and they were right next to each other on the shelf at John Eagle.
Okay.
But let's start off with Eric. Can you give us a little visual description on that?
All right, I've got a 12-ounce squeezable. It says squeezable right on the label. In fact, plastic squeeze bottle. I don't know. It's very tapered sides, very kind of oblong, ovalish, coming down to a more narrow, smaller oblong oval at the top. It's got a red cap, and it's definitely squeezable. It's got a little sticker on in front and back.
Can I interject for a second, Eric?
Yeah.
I'm always impressed. Sometimes they fix this for us in post, but I'm always impressed by your ability to turn a word into and add so many extra syllables to it. You're always like, plastic. I'm like, how does he do that? I marvel at it every time. And you can see it in the sound waves too. When you go to like edit, there's like Plastic.
A nice big choppy. Yes, it's plastic.
Plastic.
And yeah, I don't know. There's a whole not much really else to say.
Well, describe the stickers on it.
Oh, sure. The graphic design here. We've got a honeycomb on the bottom half of the front label where it says honey mustard in dark text, like dark brown.
It looks like it was designed in MS Paint. Let's not beat around the bush. It's similar to the rest of the BL logos. Like, they're very simple.
Very simple. The BL logo itself is a B.L in red with another nice ellipse around it. And then on the back, you got your, nutritional facts. The label's just white and yellow, and it's, not expired. Congratulations.
I found out what the B&L stands for, by the way.
What does it stand for?
It stands for Blazy. No, it doesn't.
No.
Obviously not, Eric.
No.
Well, maybe some connection to the B&L Railroad or something like that? Or that's B&O, isn't it?
No, we discussed this. It's some dude's initials. We figured this out last time we had this on. Tori, what about you?
My man never played Monopoly with the railroads anyway. So the bottle composition is very similar to what E mentioned. It's very much oblong, and it narrows towards the top. I think the only real noticeable difference is mine, which is Koops, by the way. I know I mentioned that, but it's a smaller lid, and it's black, but it's very much squeezable. It has two stickers. Yeah, again, very similar. They're brown, and in contrast, Koops lets us know that they've been around since 1897. Long time.
They're kind of like teardrop-shaped bottles. I kind of like the bottle shape.
Yeah.
They're simple.
Yeah, simple.
And this seems to be like a standard container design, I noticed, because there was like 100 other bottles of various brands and stuff that all had the same bottle design at the John Eagle.
Yeah.
I noticed that distinctly.
Nice. This, if you look real closely, this has the face of a bear, and it has honey mustard emblazoned over what appears to be that poor bear's eyes and kind of snoot, whatever.
I believe it's pronounced Emblazion.
Emblazion. It lets us know it says real honey, real good, Koops, in a sort of maybe like an Old West font with mustard underneath below. On the back, it says made in Wisconsin, enjoyed everywhere. How convenient. And then we have a little narrative there, and that is tiny.
Oof. Get out the jeweler's loop.
Yeah. This is the culmination of 120 years worth of fine mustard making tradition. Inside is over a century of experience, the finest ingredients, generations of expertise, and of course, really, really good mustard. This is bold at its best.
Yeah, it sounds like some of the stuff that comes out of Eric's cupboards. Over 100 years of expertise.
Just 100 years of aging, that's all.
And that's Koops.
Well, let's. Why don't we do the old switcheroo here, and Eric can start with the Koops, and let's describe the inside of what we're looking at for the sauces themselves.
All right. Well, Koops
This will
here,
be an easy one too.
held upside down, definitely passes our blizzard test. It is very well solidified.
She thick.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, they also put a quick reference guide for us on the description outline for what is more and what is less viscous, to finally settle that debate.
Yes, It is more viscous because it's thicker.
If only you had a quick sheet reference guide on your outline, Eric. Piece of shit. There's an outline to your left, too.
More viscous equals thicker. I am right.
Yay, got him. That was nice of them to make that for us.
It was very nice of them. Yeah, let's see. It's a light honey mustard color. It's exactly what you expect it to be. It's maybe kind of golden in color, I would say. Maybe closest to golden because it's not as quite as a bright yellow as many mustards we've tried on here before. It's always fun to try and explain what tone of yellow.
It's a khaki. It's like a tan color, I would say.
All right. Khaki. Absolutely. That's a good way to describe it.
Desert khaki.
Ooh. Like you're on safari.
Desert.
Yeah.
It's very monotone in color.
Let's say it's like Pantone number 78093.
Exactly. Yeah, I need to bring my Pantone colors from work.
That actually would be good if we had a Pantone deck that we could go identify these.
Easy.
We could put a picture up on the website. Although you could also just pick up a picture of the sauce on the website, which we do. So
right. I could definitely bring in one of those color swatches from work.
And hordes of people are flocking to the website, crashing it repeatedly to see our amazing pictures that we post on there.
But yeah, very opaque. There's no translucency to it. Sticks very well to itself and to the walls and to, I'm sure other things as well. Yeah, there's
I'm sure. Toes.
There is a weird line at the top where I'm not sure if it's just settled.
Settler's Ridge there.
Yeah, like it's sat. I don't know. Slightly dark.
I bought these recently, so they didn't sit in my cupboard at least. Although I don't think I gave these the customary shake before I brought them. So that could be eating into the plastic there. Tori, what about you? What's yours look like?
B&L or BL, whatever.
No, I got you saying it.
BL. We got the BL dip here. I don't know. I would say this color is, I know you rag on me on my color descriptions, but I'm going to call this a dandelion.
All right.
I'm not catching any help. Oh, wow.
Dandelion, I think, is like bright yellow, but that's okay. Maybe like a wilted dandelion.
Yeah, maybe like one that, in a dust storm.
Okay.
The dusted dandelion.
Gobi Desert dandelion.
Yeah, he too is in the Joby Desert.
Particularly maybe the pollen. Like the pollen itself tends to be a little bit darker in color. I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna start calling my dick BL for being big and loud.
Oh my goodness! Get out of here. But it very much, like the Koops, it's very thick. It's very viscous. Sounds smart.
Oh, she thick.
It doesn't move, really for anything. Passes the blizzard test. It looks very much like a thick mustard wood. Maybe the thickness, hopefully, is a function of the honey. Right? Maybe.
I think if you were to put these in like buckets and stick your hands into both, they would feel exactly the same to your hands. Like, that's my guess.
Let's try it.
Sometimes I wonder what runs through your brain, Adam.
Like, I think if the color aside, like if you couldn't, like our boy Big A, if he can't tell the difference between these two colors, I'm sure.
Oh, goodness, no.
So I would think that to him, they would look exactly the same. They're very similar, like in consistency, I think.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
The only other thing from here is it looks like to me like the Koop may have some small brownish fleck in it. Is that true, or is that an illusion that I'm seeing?
It's like extremely, extremely fine. I mean, I think there is.
But I noticed it from all the way over here.
Wow.
For reference, Eric and I are sitting 15 feet apart.
Okay,
so.
Adam has the sharpest eyes of mankind. I don't know. I literally passed off for dust on the bottle.
I'm seeing some brown flake in there, my dude.
Okay.
Very, very minuscule, microscopic. We had to bust out our newly gifted electron microscope that they gave us. 5,000 power magnification.
You just stole that from your last job.
Right.
I ain't getting no flex on the BL. I
did not detect any fleck. It looks more like, to me, the same color as that carry-out lady mustard that we got.
Yes.
Looks very similar in color.
Yes.
But with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and dive into our initial tasting notes?
Oh, hey guys, it's Tori. Don't mind me while I plug my favorite pair of podcasting dudes south of the Mason-Dixon. Happy Hour with the Hamilton Brothers. You can check these cats out on Instagram at Happy Hour with the Hamilton Bros. Their Twitter feed is out there and it is poppin'. Look them up. That's gonna be at Hamilton Bros Pod on Twitter. Relax with a cold beverage and our friends Chris and Alex. Now back to the show.
Tori, would you like to lead us off with this?
Yeah.
Let's start with the B&L.
The B&L. Well, for reference, we had little baby weenies. We were corn dog, right? They were
mini corn dogs.
Corn dogs, yeah.
Unlike my BL, there were some little baby weenies.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, they weren't corn dogs like you would envision on a stick at a carnival. They were like a finger food.
They were 100% stickless.
They're mini dogs.
Stickless. I like it.
They came in a box, and Eric was salivating by the time that they were done cooking. You said to me, I said, Eric, because I know you were amped up a couple episodes ago to use them on the Louisiana liquors, and you said, finally, when I said, oh, Eric, you can make corn dogs tonight, you said, oh boy, corn dogs. I just had one sad baked potato for dinner. I'm so happy to get the corn dogs. You said, there's 40 in a pack. I'm going to make 20 of them. I'm like, okay, that's fine, Eric. I'm going to have 2 of them.
To be clear, he really didn't do it justice. I fasted for 40 hours before, looking ahead of the schedule.
Nothing about you is fast.
Speaking
of fast, how are those images coming for the podcast, Eric? You thought you got away with that.
Wow, you're going to put it in the show.
Yeah, I'm going to call you out on the spot. You got some ready for us?
I do. I have.
All right, we'll do it after the show then.
Okay.
I won't make you do that live on the air too.
It's a surprise. It's going to be good. Actually, I kind of want to do like a different one for every week, but it's a...
Yeah, no, that's... Well, okay, you can do that too. I was thinking maybe one... Well, we don't want to... We'll tease it for the listeners. We're not going to tell you guys what we're going to fucking do. You have to wait and find out.
And, I mean, for those listeners out there, I too am in the dark. So you're in good company.
Nice.
In the dark is where you'll stay.
Locked up in E's basement.
But without further ado, Tori, lead us off for your initial tasting notes on BL.
I'm really getting off course here, but okay. So when I initially tried them on the corn dog, I was really sorely unimpressed. I didn't really care for it.
How was your 10th corn dog, though?
I mean, well, oh, you're a real jagoff.
Not in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't like it. I don't want to say I didn't like it, but I didn't think it carried the flavor necessary to stand up against a corn dog. I got a lot of corn dog, and I smothered that thing. I was looking forward to honey mustard. I like honey mustard, and the B&L just didn't have it for me. Now that it's sort of all over and the dust has settled, and I'm back in with my toothpick, I sort of have a different feel about it. I feel a little bit differently, and I'll tell you what I think would be a home run for BL honey mustard, and that is a ham sandwich, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what's the one sandwiches you got for us the one time?
Honey baked ham.
Honey baked ham. Yeah. They have a similar honey mustard that goes with those, I think.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of. Go ahead and jump onto the Koops as well. We'll do a little compare and contrast because these are very similar in a lot of ways. So give us your personal compare and contrast.
Yeah, I thought Koops had distinctly more of a vinegar taste and more than BL for sure. More mustard than BL, just more of that mustard that you like. And I didn't get too much. It stood up against the corn dog better than the B&L, I thought.
I mean, that's really interesting.
Yeah, no, actually, no. I mean, me personally, I'm largely in agreement with you. So for me, I was very much unimpressed with these on the corn dogs. And I think part of that is we have a problem in America. And I think if you had to summarize it as one,
soapbox,
the most crucial problem that America yet has to solve, probably the biggest challenge for this administration to handle, is the fact that we have honey mustard, which is made with mustard and honey, and we have quote-unquote honey mustard of the style that we dub like Eric's dog sauce, which is made with very little honey or mustard. Either one. It's like a totally separate
Zero
entity.
honey. Yeah.
So it's hard for people to know what to expect when you get a honey mustard because sometimes you get something like this, which very much incorporates both honey and mustard. And I think if you were to try to make a honey mustard at home, which I've done before with just honey and mustard, this is very close to what you end up with. Versus something like Eric's dog sauce, which is largely like America Whip based product, and you get a lot more of that creaminess to it. And just a little bit of other ingredients for flavoring, really. And those are both popular and common in the United States, and you never really know which one you're going to get. And I think maybe, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but for me, I was expecting more of like an Eric dog sauce type dip with these. And maybe your taste buds were kind of primed for the same, and that's why this kind of took you, had you a little off kilter there?
Maybe, possibly. Yeah, I mean, the vinegar smell was very prevalent in both of them.
In both, absolutely.
I think otherwise, though, I'm pretty much in agreement with you. I think I got more vinegar out of the BL, though, and I got more of a soft vinegar, like a sweet apple cider vinegar almost.
From the Koops?
Whereas in the in the BL.
Oh, in the BL.
Whereas in the Koops, I got more of a spirit vinegar. No, I didn't detect what type of vinegar was in it, but what I did get from the Koops, like you said, was more of that mustardy flavor, almost like that near horseradish type flavor.
Yes.
I thought kind of similar levels of sweetness in both. But I thought the BL was a little bit more straightforward, and the Koops had a little bit more tang to it with that deeper mustard flavor. So
yeah, I'd be more inclined to put Koops on a soft pretzel and BL on a ham sandwich.
All right, I think I'd throw that Koops on a doggy personally.
Yeah,
an actual doggy, not a corn doggy,
right?
Because you get a little bit of the sweetness from that corn texture too. Like
for sure, those corn dogs were.
It'd be interesting to try this in like a pretzel dog.
That should be good.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
And you said the BL more like a ham sammy?
No question.
All right.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, I'm on board with your food choices. I'm real curious. Which one, Tori, did you try first?
Oh, that is after the fact. I thought, damn it, I should have remembered, and I didn't. I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
Adam?
Don't know.
No clue?
I had my containers switched around at first. I couldn't remember which one was which. So I think that I tried the BL first, but I cannot be confident.
We should set up a rule where we do it in alphabetical order every time.
That's a good order.
That's a good idea.
Unless we have a reason to break that. I think that seems like a wise way to do it. And you always keep alphabetical, the higher one on your left, maybe. Keep them in line.
I love it.
Smart.
See, I got a big old brain tonight, boy.
We'll see if they put that in the outline for us. All right, Eric, what about your tasting notes?
All right, guys, I'm 100% in disagreement. 100%
Oh, no.
opposite to what you guys
Them's fighting
described.
words.
So my notes for the B&L.
I loved them. I loved the corn dogs. I couldn't wait for them. I ate 20 of them because I was so hungry for my little sad baked potato dinner.
Done?
I'm still
Are
sporting
you
the chubby
through?
from it.
All right.
My little mini corn dog is standing straight up. Go ahead now, Eric.
Corn dogs are delicious. The food suggestions you said are spot on.
You just said you disagree with this.
What you guys were saying about when you're describing the sauces, I agree with. You know, that they're more like a honey, like true honey and mustard combination. They're not anything like over sugared or sweet or that you would expect from like I said, some honey mustard. So like my dog sauce that I make.
Worst
I
problem for this
tried
administration.
the BL honey mustard first, and I said it was vinegar up front, then honey. It was bright and bitey.
Huh.
Then I had the Koops second, and I said it was molasses first, then a little bit of vinegar,
Molasses.
then honey, and not as bitey. To me, I think that the 100-year experience, they found a way to homogenize that honey and that like deeper flavors, I think, than the B&L. The B&L tastes like something that, I don't know, something that's like more fresh, more like recently developed. And then the Koops literally just tastes like it's been so precisionally manufactured year after year. They figured out the formula, they found a way, and they have made it where it's almost like boring. And that's what I thought was really interesting. So when I had my first
Did you try some of these on the toothpicks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tried them toothpicks, full finger licks, full
Of course you
full
did.
Schlecks.
Whole Schlecks.
Not baby Schlecks over here, full Schlecks.
Yeah, not baby Schlecks is right.
So yeah, I thought it was really interesting. When I tried the first corn dog in that B&L, I did not care for it. It was a little jarring. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. Then I tried it in the Koops, and I thought, okay, similar. And then I was trying to figure out, and that's actually why I actually rinsed out my mouth with some water. I kind of cleaned, step away for a second before I tried that Koops again, because I wanted to know if that vinegar wasn't tasting the vinegar because I burned it out on the B&L.
When you walked out your back door, I did wonder if you were coming back. I thought maybe this was the end of the show.
I just quit. Yeah, I was just done for.
You've been talking about it for a long time, so
Since episode 1.
But this is your house. That seems strange.
Hanging up his headphones.
He's going to live in he's going to go crash on someone's couch, as he's threatened you before.
So, yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I went back in, and yes, you taste the vinegar, but just not as strongly, I thought, as the B&L, even trying them plain, and yet at the end of eating my 10 corn dogs or whatever I had, I ended up using more B&L, and that caught me off surprise. Like I was like, why did I? I think it was that freshness that cleans the palate that makes me want to come back for more every time. I kept that cup was scraped clean where the Koops still had some left in there. So
I just want to say, speaking of how pungent you thought that was, I think if you made a honey mustard, it would be called B&O.
Hey, if my place stinks, you could just do this elsewhere.
You can just get the fuck out. Get out of my house. Get out of my estate, as we learned a couple episodes ago.
That's right.
That's right, my
His
estate.
dominion.
You have to do any brush hogging this past weekend through your estate, Eric?
No. I worked on Sunday, and then, like I said, Monday was game night, and then Tuesday I went on a 10-mile bike ride, and
10 miles with
I
your friend
did.
Dale.
Yep.
And you were geared up for another bike ride.
I did 10 miles just Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. Oh, wow. Good for you.
Then I had a couple beers on the way back.
Nice.
Mile 7.
You're a beast.
It was fun. It was a really good time. But I was so tired. You're going to love this, Adam.
All right.
I was so tired. I came home.
Fell asleep on the ride home.
I cooked up dinner. And, ate dinner. It was late. It was like almost 9 o'clock. I burned my mouth. So I'm trying to cool it with some water.
Perfect.
So I put some water in my mouth. And I closed my eyes. And I fell asleep. Forgot that I had water in my mouth, and I breathed in, and then I had a whole mouthful of water.
I have never
Mid-sip,
in my
fell asleep.
entire life done anything even remotely like that, Eric. That's beyond me.
It was pretty bizarre. I was a little
waterboarded
worried.
Yourself.
I waterboarded myself. Yeah.
Can you imagine taking a drink for something and being mid-drink and falling asleep? That is insane to
I
me.
was so tired.
I've woken up in the middle of the night and drank a bottle of water and gone back to sleep and not done that.
And not choked at all. No problems. Yeah.
Honest to God, Eric.
I struggled.
What are you on? Just tell us what you're on.
I got nothing.
Oh
got
my
nothing.
God. All right, well, I think it's time for a little sauce-spoken rewind.
Nicholas sauce.
And this week on the rewind, I gave we tried first two things I want to mention. One thing that I've mentioned to you guys already, which was that we had a little bit of a conundrum with sending out some of our Saucy Awards, and this was quite a while ago that we did that. Two of them got returned to me. One, the Pick a Peppico, which I sent back out, cost me $16 to send out to Jamaica. The other one was the My Mustard. I got that returned to me ANK, which apparently stands for Address Not Known, and I don't have another good address to send that to for them, so if someone here has any connections to My Mustard, please drop a line to me, softspoken@gmail.com, and let me know if it's possible for me to somehow get this award to My Mustard. But without further ado, I have another little soft-spoken rewind because 2 weeks ago, we did the Quaker Steak and Lube Louisiana Liquors, and I had speculated a recipe. We kind of collaborated on this, a little copycat recipe, and we didn't look anything up online. We did this totally by taste. But I made an attempt to replicate the Louisiana Liquors recipe based on our tasting. So what I did was I had some Newman's Old Marinara.
Ooh.
And I mixed that, I lightened that up with a little bit of ketchup. I threw some barbecue sauce in there. I threw some Louisiana style like hot sauce in there as well.
Was it like a sweeter barbecue?
Yeah, it was a sweeter barbecue. And sweet and smoky, I think. Something like that.
Nice.
And then I put in a pretty healthy amount of like Cajun seasonings. And I meant to do this last week, so this has been sitting for, I don't know, a week and a half now or something like that. So I definitely think the flavors have probably well incorporated, if anything. And we're going to try that live on air because I have a feeling it's either going to be, I don't know, the idea of it kind of weirds me out a little bit, but we're going to try it here live for you and see how
The idea of what weirds you out?
Just mixing marinara sauce into other sauces. Like that's the point where I would normally draw the line. But as far as before we taste here, I just want to like looking at this. What are you guys' thoughts? Like looks and smells.
Well, it looks like barbecue marinara, but I think it smells a lot like how that sauce.
I actually thought the color was spot on, to be quite honest with you. I think it might be a little thicker.
It's thicker, right?
I did puree the marinara sauce first, so it's a really fine. It's finer than it was. It's not chunky at all. I think the color is pretty near spot on, if not.
It's close. It's a little darker, I think.
Yeah, maybe a skosh darker.
Yeah.
And I do think that the smell is pretty close.
It smells spot on.
But without further ado,
definitely peppery.
And we don't have any here to do a comparison, I don't think, but let's go ahead.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
I've been putting it on my pizza all week. It's been so good.
Well, bust it out. We're going to have to do a little comparison then.
Excellent. I'm working my way to 10 cups. I'm telling you, man.
We don't need a separate cup for this. We can just have a little bit on the plate maybe and try it for comparison. But let's go ahead and do a little Dipper's Delight on us, boys, and see how it comes out.
Dipper's Delights.
First of all, I'll just say, I've had chicken nuggets that were... These were a good approximation of like a whole grain like wheat cracker. I like them.
Yeah, they're extremely overcooked.
Yeah, we left them in the toaster oven for the first 40 minutes of the podcast.
Whoopsies.
So they're very nice and well done. But as far as the flavor goes, it was subtle. I didn't get a ton of the flavor, but what I got was pretty similar. It wasn't that far off. I didn't make a lot, so it's hard to get a nice big scoop. What did you guys think?
Definitely got the marinara. I'd be anxious to try a side by side.
Yeah, let's get that shit out, Eric.
All right.
Maybe dump a little on the plate. We can just dabble do you. First of all, color comparison here. That's a little more orangey, I think. Look at the bottoms. Mm-hmm. A little more orangey.
Pretty close.
Close.
I double dipped, so I'm gonna need another cup.
Sure, we'll just use we'll just do multiple little.
Oh, okay. A little oasis.
Yeah, you got a little oasis.
Yeah, a little sauce oasis.
I used up all my nuggie, but go ahead and have it.
I still have half a bite, half a nibble.
I'm gonna dip my fingy in it.
Oh, there you go.
Huh. I have some thoughts.
Yeah, like more vinegar?
Yeah, that was my exact thought. Was actually, I didn't have that one there to compare to when I was doing it, but honestly, I went pretty gentle with the Louisiana hot sauce when I was putting it in. To be quite honest, I think I needed more. I think I needed more
hot
vinegar
sauce.
and more hot sauce, but honestly, a lot of those other flavors, I'm getting pretty darn close. I think if I had the other one there next to compare, I could have made a really good facsimile.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely.
Texture could have used maybe a minute or two longer in the blender or the food processor or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to get it as finely pureed as they, would do.
I bet that's a strug.
But yeah, honestly, I'm going to say do what I did, start with some marinara, add some ketchup, add some barbecue, add some Louisiana hot sauce, and a good helping of Cajun, just dry Cajun seasoning.
Ooh,
and then, throw in maybe a little bit of vinegar, a little bit more hot sauce to taste, and you're right there. I actually would say this is like if Louisiana liquors are too spicy for you, do it that way and just temper your amount of Louisiana hot sauce to taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is easier to eat without having to take a pause.
Yeah, that's true. For some reason, I didn't remember it as being that spicy, but now tasting it here again, I was like, oh yeah, it does have a little bit more of a kick to it. So
Yeah. We only gave it a 3 in the spice range.
I know. That's
I
what
gave
I
it
was.
1.5.
Yeah.
I remember it being really pretty low, so that's why I'm surprised when tasting it now. It seems more spicy, but that was an interesting little experiment. But since we, now that we got done talking about what's in the Louisiana liquors, or what could be in Louisiana liquors sauce, why don't we go ahead and move on to Eric's favorite segment of the show, the ingredients.
Alrighty, do we have a preferred one to start with?
Alphabetical, my man.
Ooh, alphabetical, babe.
How quickly I forget. You can tell I'm not the one making the rules around here. Thank God.
I mean, I was just talking like for tasting, but
I know what you meant.
we can expound upon that if you wish.
I think it's a good way to keep us in the right track to begin with, though, honestly, because sometimes we bounce around a lot, and I do like to keep it in the same order for those keeping score at home. So,
Good point. All right. So BL honey mustard, we have distilled vinegar and water, mustard seed, sugar, honey, salt, soybean oil, spices, garlic powder, turmeric,
aquafaba,
it says aqua resin.
aquamarine, aqua resin.
Aqua resin of carrot. Interesting.
Is that from one of your D&D recipes?
Maybe.
Sounds like a Skyrim thing.
Yeah, really. Xanthan gum.
Bang, bang.
Paprika.
Ooh,
That-
gotcha.
Fills that out.
That is pretty much all what I would expect, I think. It seems straightforward.
Except the aqua of carrot. Or
Well,
whatever.
yeah, I don't know what
That's
the fuck
weird.
that shit is.
Yeah, I don't know what aqua resin of carrot is. That's strange.
Weird.
Distributed by BL Cream Company, Pittsburgh, PA. That's interesting, too. Did we
Yeah.
say that last time? I
Yeah,
guess-
we did.
Oh, for
Okay.
sure.
Piece of shit.
Again, didn't remember. Didn't care to remember, apparently.
You were here.
I know. I really liked it. That
Oh,
BL
yeah.
French onion, that was delicious.
Oh my god, Eric. We spent 25 minutes talking about the Pittsburgh aspect.
And so, now we go on to the Wisconsin one for Koops. Somewhere out here's some ingredients.
Koopses, as Tori would say.
Koopses.
Ah, there we go. Ingredients. All right. We have
There's
vinegar.
honestly not that much space on the back. How did you lose that?
It's very small compared to B&L.
It is
Oh
tiny
my God.
back there. Then. Yeah.
No, I mean like this. There's a lot less ingredients even. It's vinegar, water, mustard seed, sugar, salt, honey, spices, garlic powder, carrot extract, paprika.
Carrot. What is with the carrots? These homies throwing carrots and everything.
Not the first time we've seen that.
I know, yeah.
Being
Interesting.
that it's like a aqua
haven't seen it
resin
for a
or an extract, I'm guessing it's maybe just like a coloring to help.
I would think the aqua resin is like if you pureed a carrot and like got the juice out of it, maybe. That's what my speculation is. I'm going to take a soft stance on that.
Boy, if only there was like a name for something like that, like carrot juice.
Yeah. It doesn't sound nearly chemical enough. And
That's scary.
I know that we've mentioned before the full BL lineup, and I don't have that pulled up here. We noticed last time on the BL website, there's not a whole lot of info going on here. They just kind of list what they have, and they'll give you the nutritional information. That's about it. I know we've gone through this all before, so I won't dwell on it this time. But I do want to go ahead and go back to the Koops mustard because they've got quite the lineup as well, and I think it bears mentioning. Get it? Bear.
Yeah.
It's got a bear on it.
No, this one has an eagle.
Oh,
So
we got
let's
all
do
types
our-
of creatures.
Let's do our traditional rapid fire style here. We'll start off with Tori and hit us with the first one.
We got the eagle and the original yellow Koops mustard.
Eric,
We've got the sledgehammer for stone ground mustard.
Tori,
This looks like a wild cold horseradish.
Eric.
We've got the Arizona heat.
Describe
Self-
the picture that's on there too.
It's a cactus oasis.
Some saguaros with a sun.
Yeah.
Tori.
Ooh, what the heck is this? Is this a hat and a bow tie?
Yeah, I think it's like a little sailor outfit.
Oh, maybe like a delicatessen.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like an old style deli.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's your trifold hat and your little bow tie, spicy brown mustard Koops.
Eric.
We've got a beret and a mustache for the Dijon.
For the Dijon mustache. Tori.
Ooh, and there's our fave. We got it today. Oh, honey Dijon, and it looks like a bear with a
Fancy
beret
mustache.
and a stash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bear sound on it.
honey Dijon.
The regular bear licking his chomps there, his muzzle with the honey mustard.
Tori.
We're very proud looking, maybe an English lion holding a bottle of mustard. This is Dusseldorf, maybe German.
I'm
maybe.
saying German, yeah.
I thought German was the eagle.
Eric.
We've got a campfire for jalapeno
Tori.
What the
mustard.
heck is this? Oh, okay. We're back to the beret and the stash
Organic Dijon.
for the organic Dijon.
Eric.
Back to the sledgehammer for organic stone
Sorry.
ground.
Oh, yeah, same deal. Spicy organic brown. We got the deli man and his uniform.
Yeah, this is pretty basic. We don't have to go back through all these. They're just the organic versions, the exact same thing. Interesting. Yeah, they've also got an organic yellow. We'll finish out the lineup, I guess. But yeah, they've got quite the gamut there. Not the gambit, as Eric has said one episode. I didn't correct him on. I wanted to.
But not like the Marvel character, huh?
No. Yeah, so they've got quite a few things on there. They've also got recipes on there.
Ooh, they got their own recipes.
They've got they've got some mustards. That looks pretzels. That looks like a good idea.
There we go.
A lot of other bullshit I don't care about.
Was that a piece of fish? Scroll down.
Sure
Horsey
was.
tartar sauce. Hell yeah.
Is that? Oh, that is fish, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, horsey tartar sauce.
I'll be with that.
Neat. I could kind of think about that. Let's talk about our process. The finest ingredients, simple processing. Yeah, so I don't know. You guys seen anything in here that seems notable? It seems like your standard shtick, right?
I'd say so. Yeah.
It's fucking
I mean,
mustard.
120 years. That's impressive.
That's interesting because I was wondering which was older, and I was leaning towards the BL, but it seems like maybe the Koops. But I don't know. It gets a little fuzzy when you get into things like that because it kind of depends on how you define things.
Yeah.
Suppose that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's interesting the way the BL was so much more bright. I thought, literally, it just tasted brighter on the palate, and like I said, made
a daffodil, perchance,
made you want to come back.
Or what'd you say, a dandelion? Like
Dusty
dandelion, perchance,
dusty dandelion. You're gonna have to redo the graphic design for him, Tori.
I just this goofy shit just comes to me, dude. I can't help it.
Oh, hey guys, it's Tori. Don't mind me while I plug my favorite pair of podcasting dudes south of the Mason-Dixon. Happy Hour with the Hamilton Brothers. Who doesn't like getting their beak wet and having a chat? These guys are no strangers to social media. Twitter, Tinder, it's all the same. All their details and more are going to be on their super sleek website. Don't forget to check it out, hamiltonhour.com. They're on every major listening platform. They're our friends, so you know they gotta be good.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the ratings portion of the show. Eric, would you like to lead us off? And I don't know, how do you guys want to do this? Do you want to do a round for the BL, or do you want to do one right after the other? We don't need heat ratings for this, right?
We do not need heat ratings.
So let's go ahead and just do the BL, followed then by the Koops. Because we did a little compare and contrast for the tasting notes. So hit us first with your BL, and then hit us with your Koops.
I liked it, but I didn't think it was like anything earth-shattering. I thought it was a 6. You know, it's just a little over average, I guess. And you say then hit right after there with Koops?
Hit us!
All right. Well, I thought the Koops was... Initially, I wanted to say I liked it more because it was like sweeter and less, more monotone. But at the end of the day, by evidence of my cups, I don't think that's the case. I think it's only going to come in at a 5 because I cleaned up more with that B&L. It just kept drawing me back to it. So.
And what about for the Louisiana liquor sauce I made?
That's a solid 10. It's a solid 7.
Be
I'm
nice.
just kidding. You don't have to give that an
It's a
actual
solid
rating.
7. No, it's really good.
I'm not going to give that an actual rating. I'm just kidding.
I think it's really good, though. You did a good
Thanks.
job.
Very good.
Tori, what about you for the BL?
Yeah, I was curious. What is the price point on these babies?
Cheap. Yeah, I think sub $3 for both of them. I think they're
Okay.
about the same price.
Okay. I don't know. I thought the B&L was good. I think it probably has... It's more purpose-built, as you would say, probably more so than Koops, at least in my opinion. I think Koops has a great dip ability.
Because I'm the type of mustard that's built to last.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could easily dip a provolone cheese stick or a pretzel, whether it be out of a bag or a soft pretzel, in the Koops, probably more so than the honey mustards, than the B&L, excuse me. But with that being said, I'm going to give the B&L a 6.
All right.
Yeah. And the Koops is going to edge it out. I think the dipability that the Koops has over the BL will edge it out, and that's going to be a 7.
Okay.
Okay. I think for me personally, the BL, I didn't dislike it, but to me, the notes it was bringing, I think would have been more pleasant in the type of thing that in like the dog sauce that Eric makes. It's tricky for me because honey mustards, and when I was a kid, I always liked honey mustard, and I always wanted to replicate it if I didn't have my house because my parents would never buy honey mustard. Their logic being we have honey and we have mustard. So I'd always mix them and try to make it, and it never tasted like it did when you buy it in the bottle or get it as a dipping thing, you know. And it's because what they're making was more aligned with Eric's dog sauce, which is kind of like my opinion is what honey mustard is. So while the BL is okay, I think it's just kind of hitting the same notes as the dog sauce without kind of like that more pleasant body that I find in the dog sauce or something like that. So for me, I think the BL is going to have to go like a 4. Yeah, it wasn't doing it for me as much. Yeah. The Koops, on the other hand, I'm picturing that on like a brat or something like that, like a nice like German sausage in a bun or something like that. And I could really see that being a delightful contrast from my standard mustards, you know, and I think that could definitely edge it out. That being said, didn't blow me away. I think I'm going to give it like a 5.5.
Wow.
I know it's a little lower for me, especially for mustards, which I'm a fan of, but I think that's fair for me. I think that's where I would be at with it. Like, it's something I would give it a try for some variety, but not something I'd necessarily seek out.
Harsh.
So if this was like a Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard, if they even make such a thing.
Oh, there's a thing.
There's a thing.
And that's more like my dog sauce, I imagine.
Yes.
Kind of a little more.
Very similar.
Just
sweeter
off the
than
top of your
both of
head.
these.
Yeah,
Head and
way
shoulders
sweeter. So
Yes.
higher? You think you'd rate it higher?
I think so, because I really am a sucker for that, you know,
A sweet and
non-traditional,
tangy?
say whatever you want to call not real honey mustard. I'm a sucker for that type of thing. I like that a lot. And Sweet Baby Ray's, I think, theirs is a little bit on the bland side. I think sometimes your dog sauce is a little bit better, but I do like that kind of sauce a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting comparison.
And I have to admit, I'm probably right there with you. I mean, as much as I don't want to say, oh, you know, I'm not into all the sugar and sweetness, but yeah.
Everything nice.
What? Anything nice?
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
Yeah.
What girl's made of? Not the Judy.
I wouldn't know.
Hey, self-burn. Second self-burn for the night. Very good. E. All right. Well, very interesting. I think that's going to go ahead and do it for us for the Koops honey mustard and the BL honey mustard this week. All I want to say for the listeners is stay tuned for next week because we're coming up on the spooky month of Saucetober. Woo! And we might have some spooky recordings coming out.
Quite spoopy.
And
Spoopy.
For those meme enjoyers.
still some stuff in the works, but yeah, it's going to be spoopy as hell.
Super spoops.
Super spoops. And I think we're going to, I initially we'll tease a little more for listeners because I kind of initially thought to try to like find what is a spooky sauce, you know, and what I kind of settled on was just things with like strange, interesting textures or colors and appearance that might, if you saw them outside of a sauce container, it might look a little suspect.
A little sussy.
A little sus. You might be hitting the eject button.
Oh, damn.
I know, I was
Sussy and
thinking-
spoopy.
I was thinking dark.
Or appealing
maybe
to the
dark or dark and
Twitch
bloody.
Zoomers.
You know? So
Yes, Eric, we'll be tasting ox blood. That's the first
Yes,
sauce next week.
excellent.
You spoil it for the listeners.
Have Oreo dirt with gummy worms for dessert.
Luxardo Luxardo cherries. Can you do that as a soft spoken? I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe if you like dug the goop out that they're in, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The goop.
The goop that makes you poop. I mean, the whole time we were talking about Koops, that's all I could think of was Koops makes you poops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's coming into my demented mind. But without further ado, Eric, do you have any closing thoughts that you would like to share with the listeners this week?
Oh, like I said earlier, I've been super, super busy, and you know what? Staying busy and with Saucetober upon us, I'm real excited to see what the future holds for Soft Spoken. I think we're into a very fun period for our show. So I think, like you said, listeners, stay tuned. We have a lot coming up.
Yeah.
So,
Ankle deep in season 2, dude.
yeah, it's pretty exciting.
We're going to be doing a sauce pentagram on your table and trying to summon sauce. I'm trying to think Satan. How do you do Satan with sauce? Like Satan? I don't know.
You
Beazzle.
ain't going to get no help from me.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a good one. I'll think of it later.
All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Wait, what? Didn't you have like a seitan or something like that? Wasn't that one style of cooking or something like that for the Lee Kum Kee or something like that? We're getting way off the hooks. Tori, what about you? What about touching thoughts? What do you got for us this week?
Well, for my closing thoughts this evening, I want to ask a question. I'm going to ask a question, not only to you boys, but of course the listeners at home. And that question is, who do you think you are? Now, I know in this generation, we got a pandemic, we're all stressed. You hear that question and it comes off as confrontational. And it comes off as, I want to whoop your ass. Who do you think you are type thing. But allow me to reframe that question. And who do you think you are? Because if you're struggling, I know I do at times, if you're struggling with a negative self-talk, these types of things, that's a direct symptom of believing half-truths and things that aren't true. And we all know the truth is the truth, right? It hasn't changed, and it will be the truth from here and now on. And the truth is that you are loved and you are appreciated. Right off the top of my head, I can think of 3 people that appreciate the living hell out of you. So act accordingly. And thanks for listening.
Great. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Make sure to tune in next week and the rest of the month following that for Saucetober. Ooh, and the spooky sauces that await you. And as always, thank you for listening, and good night.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be @Sauce Spoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty gritty. It's saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.